Hello guys, gals, and everyone in between. My name is Jordan, aka Nawanator, and today I'm bringing you the beginner's guide. I actually don't know anything about this game. It was in a bundle because it's by the same makers as the Stanley Parable. If you've seen that game played, I bought it on Steam. It was in a pack. It was cheap, so I am totally blind. So we'll jump in and see what's going. Oh, and before I get started, of course, we are joined by Durzo. Hi, Durzo. Actually, we have the whole gang here. You can't see them in the background, but we actually have Kyler and Atlas too. I have shown them in a previous video. Maybe I'll show them again sooner or later. We'll see. Anyway, let's jump in. Enough about my dogs. Actually, move. Make sure audio is on. Who plays games with audio off? And the normal controls. Yes, I think I could have figured that one out. Oh, right.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing the Beginner's Guide.
Hi.
My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote the Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011.
Is it a true story?
We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made.
Okay.
It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level.
Wait,
and of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this?
I can't
This is what I like about all of Coda's games.
Well, that makes me sad.
Not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator.
I don't see any blobs.
I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here.
I've never played Counter-Strike, so I have no idea.
It's 2008,
is this an actual level?
Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever.
Okay.
And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made.
Okay, I think
until
I've
suddenly
got
one
this
day,
whole level.
he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since.
No,
and that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating
everything
again.
In this entire
and if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda.
Yeah, Coda.
So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed.
I'm not going to be walking around in a bunch of
November
just sceneries
2008.
over and over again. I was going to be like, that would be pretty boring. Oh, and so we have a sci-fi. Oh, whisper machine action, status action. Am I actually going to shoot some stuff?
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Hey, that one's blocked. Oh no. Oh no, we're blocked off. Coda, what have you done to me?
You can click to fire the gun.
I get that, but there's nothing to shoot. Give me something to shoot.
Security call breached. Hostile alien life forms inbound.
Possible? I have a feeling that's not.
It kind of looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere.
There's no
But
monsters!
then clearly there are no enemies anywhere.
Are you
You
serious?
can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately, we don't really know.
All
Maybe
right.
Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk
How
about
do
his
you
games for what they
reload?
are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin shooting.
Enemy force neutralized? I haven't done anything. I swear that I thought there was glass right there. That's why I went around
I
with
love how you
around
can
it the
see the
first
bottom of the universe from this room.
time. Yeah. That's hilarious. Open door. What about this door? Yeah, automatic doors. I don't get how I'm supposed to reload. It's not allowing me to do anything.
Apparently,
Watch,
this
he
space
said that
station
there's
has a
no
labyrinth on it.
monsters and something's gonna jump out at me.
Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Okay, cool.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting.
What?
The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
The whisper machine. Should we be whispering?
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine.
I can do
You
it.
could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body
I'm
could
hot
stop the
enough.
beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
Oh. Alright. Let's do it! Oh, I died.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level.
Yeah.
But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
What happens? Oh, okay, I gotta do it again. Wait, there's no window. Wasn't I looking out a window when I died? Oh gosh! Oh my gosh! Hello. I have transcended the world.
The beam causes you to start floating.
I think
And
that's
this is an
totally,
important moment for him.
like,
Because yes, this
meant-
is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger
and if you died,
chaotic
you're just
system.
like floating above.
Or this
and-
floating could be the afterlife, a
Yeah.
peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear
if
is
it's
that
a
after
glitch, then he
making this,
wasn't thinking anything,
something
it just
lodges
happened
itself in his
on
brain.
accident.
He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops
like
work
it.
on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions.
Okay. Let's see
Let's
this
go
one of
ahead
those
and take a
games.
look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
I kind of like this ending better, to be honest. Oh. This is creepy. Oh, this pass was behind her. Can I move? The pass was behind her. I get it. It's funny. Oh.
Yep. In this game, you can only walk backwards.
What? No way. Why isn't it letting me move backwards, though? Why is it doing that? Oh. Oh, I have my things on. That's what's going on. Dude, could you imagine a scary game like this? That'd
So
be
it's a short
freaking
and
terrifying.
relatively
Oh,
minimalist
but the future
experiment
cannot be
combining
seen.
motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the
Why does the
previous game,
future
but
keep
actually it
changing?
seems to be more
there's more stuff over
focused,
here.
more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it
When
on
she
a
stops
pre-existing trope.
and looks, it becomes clear. Oh, you get wait. I get it. It's all philosophical and stuff. But oh darn it, I gotta go back. But if the future is always behind her, how will she find the strength to look forward, to confront it?
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need
was
anything
it?
more than that.
Okay.
Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
Dude, that would be terrifying though. Like if you had a scary game that you could only walk backwards with. It's like you are now entering Fun Land, fun creepy land, dude. It's all dark.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
I don't like that. You are now entering. What am I entering?
Oftentimes,
Nonsense,
Coda
it's
would
nearly
put
in
bizarre
every-
titles like this one at the start of his games.
Yeah, I see a
I
lot
wish
of
I'd known him at the time that
nonsense.
he
What
was
is
making
this?
these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but...
He seems like a
what are
very
you gonna do?
eccentric guy, you know? He's got a very interesting worldview.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens.
What?
So why, if
No.
Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all?
Oh, that's
Well,
freaking
to show you,
cool.
I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Okay, gosh, dang, dude. Dude, that's just cruel. Stand on an X staring at a bear for 3 hours. You're running. Oh, gosh, a stranger appears. A game of only posters and concepts. Yes, these are all game cliches. A key in one
room
game
that's
unlocks a
warm
door in a completely separate
and
game.
nice and filled with little ideas
Press
for games.
U to surrender. I wonder if these are just like, yeah, these are just like ideas he's
Coda
had,
would
or-
often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
The game is nothing but giant blocks of text explaining what is happening. Yeah, a normal game where you have to scream into a mic every 15 seconds to keep playing. That would be hilarious. Ready, set, fish. Okay. Let's get some fishing going. What? All right, this sounds great. We are fishing in a concrete building.
Well, this is new
You're
for Coda.
confusing.
It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
What's the puzzle? There's an actual puzzle here? Well, I can't jump up. What is the puzzle? Okay. Maybe I need to hit this again? So that closes. Does that change anything in the room? Why is everything... I got down here and now I can't get back up. Well, it's like misty. Maybe I just need to go this way? I'm going forward, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything. I'll go this way. Maybe I'm too stupid for this. Maybe you should not have given me a puzzle. What happens if I can't figure out the puzzle? Do I just lose? Is it over? Well, that would suck. Hello, Sky. There's only one thing that interacts. Huh. I'll just keep pressing it. It's a light switch. Okay.
All right, let me just walk you through it.
Yeah.
You're gonna hit the switch on the outside to open the door, then hit the same switch and walk through the door before it closes. You'll see a second switch on the
Oh.
inside, which will open the second door.
Okay. Really? It's that simple? I am still dumb. Alright, where's the switch? Oh, it's on this side of the door.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot.
I feel dumb. I was like, I was way overthinking that. Just go through the door. That's all I had to do. Go through the door. Oh well. I feel like I'm usually good at puzzles.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. All right, Now I'm going to modify
Coda,
the game
you're a
again
cruel
so that when you
person.
press enter,
I feel
it'll
like-
remove all of the walls.
I feel
from
like
this
there's no
room.
closure, and it's driving me mad. Oh. Alrighty then. Can I jump off here? No. Man, he built
How
a
about
lot.
that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So,
Yeah.
in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world.
Man, that must
Either
have
way,
taken
I think that the
forever.
point is the same. Is
Right?
that most of the time you
Look at
don't
all
get
that.
to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
To notice that I'm a small speck of dust in a grand scheme of things. Oh, we're back here again. You are now entering. Oh, I'm.
Aha. So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier,
So,
tells
now
us
I'm
that
actually-
Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that
Yes.
the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game.
Okay.
There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
It's kind of a weird game, to be honest. Like, it's just a compilation of failed other games. Well, this is a lonely area. Seems.
Let's talk about
right up
video
my
game
alley.
development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game
Yes.
can and cannot do.
I know.
So
these
in other
words.
words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Can I climb on that umbrella? I wanna
To
try
make
go
all of
somewhere
these
it won't let me.
games, Coda is using an engine called Source.
Nope.
Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms,
Oh.
is just because he's working with what
stairs.
the engine does well.
Oh wow. That's kind of cool.
The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You
Oh,
might
wow,
consider
I can
paying
jump
attention to the
all the way down.
architecture in Coda's
And I
games
don't die.
to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing
Dude, this would be an
linear,
awesome
boxy
platform.
corridors.
I like this. He really likes oranges and grays, I feel like. I've seen that several times throughout these games. Oh, shoot. Oh, you can make it down to the bottom, and we have stairs. What have we found? Is that anything? Is that... Oh, there's glass. There's glass. I didn't see that. I'm like trying to walk into it. It's like, nope. Alright, we'll continue. Should I... yeah, I'm guessing I head this way. So there's stalls. Oh, things are closing behind me. I hear a beeping. Oh. Detour, I guess. Oh no! Oh, okay. Okay, I'm good. I'm fine. I feel like I'm a cow ready for slaughter. You know?
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full
I played
hour
myself.
before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Okay. Oh, I gotta go back down.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always
Coda's
defend
like,
that,
I don't
you know,
care.
all this
I don't
work
give a
goes into
care.
the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There
Dude,
wasn't.
that's like the best practical joke ever. Like, in one of these, there's a playable game. Try to find it. Where?
It's
Oh,
the
okay.
puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time.
Okay. Touche, Coda.
There's still
You're
no
getting a
clear
little
indication
repetitive.
of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
Yo, Coda. What's this? What am I doing? I feel like I'm lost in your mind. Listen. You there? Did you come from up above?
Here,
What was
Coda
up there?
begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities.
Yes, there was a word.
Use the 1, 2, 3
stamped
buttons
with
on
the
your keyboard
whiteness.
to respond.
Yes, there was an enormous prison. I spent hours in there. Yes, there were these floating color blocks. Let's go with 2. That's the world above. You've been there? Now, this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yes, I did. That was literally the last thing I did before coming here. Again, perfect. Now, please tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. I don't remember how I solved it. I didn't solve it. Trust me, you don't want to go over there. I can't tell them. Oh no, but I do. We need to get there. Do you understand? It is the most important thing in the world. We have to escape this prison. There must be an ending. I promise you, there's nothing I want more. Alright, man. Be careful what you wish for. Am I not gonna tell him? I'm trying. I would tell you. He's not letting me tell you. Alright, let's go back out. I'll show you, good sirs. Deja vu. Hello, how did you get past? Was there a puzzle you had to pass through? Yes. Do you want to know how to solve it? No, I've been right here the entire time. Let's do that. Let's throw him a curveball. I suggest you go and see the puzzle sometime. It's not meant to be solved, but you can sit in the black space in the middle. Who are you? Yes. Just go hang out there in the blackness for a bit. You may not like it at first, but it'll grow on you eventually. Okay, blackness. Let's go become one with the blackness.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
And I sit in the blackness and be one with myself. But there's no blackness. It's just a street. Looks like I'm in a schoolyard or something.
It's a lamppost. Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the
like
end of
the
every
Lion, the
single
Witch,
one
and
of
the
his games from
Wardrobe.
here on out.
We have a lamppost.
I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long.
Yeah.
Because now he wants something to hold on to. He
Okay.
wants a reference point. He wants the work to be
Once he
leading
stops
to
talking,
something,
I have something I need
He
to say
wants a
about Lion, Witch, and the
destination,
Wardrobe.
which is
I've
what
had
this lamppost is. It's a
in my head
destination.
for a long time.
We're going to see it in the work as
And I
well.
think
These games are
everyone
just
should
going to
know
become
it.
a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Will it now? Because, man, I feel like Coda's got the weirdest mind I've ever thought of. Alright, we're going to pause real quick. Okay, Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So, when they are all adults, and I know this is a weird tangent, let me go through it. Anyway, when they're all adults and they find the lamppost and they're like, oh, this seems familiar. And then he's like, I can't remember if this is in the movie or the book either. I want to say it's in the movie. But they're like, oh, I remember about the land of Spare in the country of Wardrobe. And it's like, bull! You guys lived in the castle for literally 20 years or 40 years. You're telling me there's not a spare room or a wardrobe in the castle? You're full of it, and I'm not taking this crap. Okay, sorry. Weird rant over. It just drives me nuts. every time I think about it. This game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players. Well, there's only been like one other player, so... ... Nice room. Not! Coda is trolling himself.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce
How
this,
do you
but
beat
this
this
game
game?
is not connected to the internet. All
No
of the
point
notes that
to
you're going to
this.
see have been written by Coda.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
This was
Coda-
actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at
Whoa,
a weekend
holy
game jam in
shicer.
Sacramento, where I grew up.
Can you
I
guys
saw him
hear
working
me?
on this very level, and it was just so different from
Hello.
anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like,
Reasonable.
I have to be friends with this person.
Reasonable.
In
Everyone,
retrospect, I think I
read
was
this.
probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention.
Hey!
I was over enthusiastic. But he was very gracious
This
about it
place
and
makes me
very patient
sad.
with me. And I cooled off eventually.
I
Oh,
want
feel
to
free
tell
to
you a
skip
secret.
over any of these notes
Once
if they're
upon
not
a
doing
time,
anything
I
for
did.
you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them.
Define fun.
Either way,
I'm king
to
of the
me
wood.
they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's
Yeah, is he
filled with
just talking to
thoughts
himself?
and feelings
Do you feel a
and
hero yet?
beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to
Wow.
be played.
There's so many bubbles he wrote himself. That's insane.
But
Oh, and
it's
it even
ironic,
shows which
isn't it,
ones.
that in playing this game and seeing
There are
how
too many
alone
messages.
Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him.
The guy over there wrote.
And I
what's
have to be
wrong.
honest with you, this idea
What's
is
wrong?
really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and
This
get
game
to
is
know
so
them
nice. I
better
would
and
like
have
it
to
when
do
I
less
could.
of the messy in-person socializing.
Do not be afraid.
I could just
You
get
care.
to know you through your
I
work.
just saw a flying penguin. Let me tell
think
you,
this
it's
is
the
why
most
I always
majestic
liked
thing I've ever
Coda's
seen.
games so
I
much.
don't feel
Is
loving
because it felt like they let me have that connection.
because
I
nothing
felt
will
as
ever
though
be as
he
majestic
was
as
inviting
that.
me personally into his world.
I never want to see it in it
And then
again.
I feel less lonely too.
If nothing will ever be that beautiful again. I'm crying now, plan on ripping my eyes out. I must go on. Or... Wow, that is very strange. Holy cow, there are a lot of these. I think I'm gonna start skipping a few. I guess I didn't need to do all those. I thought that was kind of the only area. Come on. I know, Coda, you have a lot of voices in your head. Is Coda schizophrenic? A free t-shirt. Open sesame. What if it's just opened when I said open sesame? That would be awesome. I help people because of the internal good feeling I get. I honestly, well, I think a lot of people do that. It's very crowded in here. It's when you help people and you don't want to, that is a true good task. Because there's always that argument that it's if you're doing it for the good feeling, then you're being selfish. But it's like that's just people who don't do good things trying to justify why they don't do good things. It's sad, really, all of it. Stop faking it. I'm not faking it. Well, I'm faking hitting some of these, reading some of these. That is beautiful. That is a beautiful work of art, Coda. I want to look at it forever and put it on my wall. There's so many shapes. Sizes and shapes. His terrible secret, he kept it well. I beat the game. I lost the game. You're welcome.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means.
Okay.
Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one. In each of his games,
Okay.
after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works,
Is Coda
and so
real?
it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
I want to know if Coda's actually real.
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move
solution.
on, you get to pause.
Oh, we're
Just for a
pausing?
moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here.
What's that sound? I
To
don't
step
like that.
back and connect the pieces together. To
Oh.
grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
We have another lamppost. Are you there? Please say something. It can be anything. I just need you to say something. Talk to me, please. Why are you having so much difficulty talking? Speak, 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 speak. Porn stars die
Okay, this
too.
one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes.
Okay, guys, Porn Stars Die Too sounds like a great place to stop. So if you guys liked today's video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to stay tuned for more content from me and more games like A Beginner's Guide or Stanley Parable, make sure to subscribe. And until next time, this is Nawanator signing off.